morning, everybody. Welcome to the first day of 8th grade speeches. Today we celebrate the hard work, dedication, and personal growth of our students as they share speeches they have developed over the past 12 weeks. This journey began with an important decision, choosing a topic that sparked curiosity. From there, students researched and gathered facts. Then came the writing process, where they carefully structured their speeches, ensuring their words would inform their audience. But the work didn't stop there. Over the past few weeks, they practiced daily, refining their delivery, building confidence, and preparing to stand before all of you today. This experience has been about more than just writing and speaking. It has been about finding our voices, learning to express ourselves, and growing into confident communicators. So as we listen today, let us celebrate not only the words spoken, but the effort and courage behind them. Please join me in prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for everybody who could come here today, and thank you for the 8th graders who have worked so hard. We're so blessed that we can all be here today, and please give our 8th graders this courage to calm their nerves and do well in their speeches. We're just so blessed that we can be here. In your name we pray, amen. Thank you. Please welcome Reynolds Yeoman, who is speaking about the 9/11 boat lift.
On September 11, 2001, the United States faced an unimaginable tragedy. Terrorists from the group Al-Qaeda hijacked 4 planes, crashing 2 into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. The attacks caused the towers to collapse, filling the air with smoke and debris. Thousands of people were trapped in Lower Manhattan, and the city's transportation system came to a halt. However, in an incredible show of bravery and unity, more than 500 private boat owners came together to help evacuate people from the island. This effort, known as the boat lift, became one of the largest and most heroic evacuations in U.S. history. Al-Qaeda, a terrorist group founded in the 1980s by Osama bin Laden, was responsible for the attacks. They targeted the World Trade Center, which represented America's strength and success. On that morning, 2 planes took off from airports on the East Coast. Shortly after takeoff, both planes were hijacked. Their destinations were the World Trade Center. At the time, about 35,000 people worked in the towers and nearly 70,000 visited daily. The buildings were enormous, 110 stories tall. The North Tower stood at 1,368 feet high, while the side towers stood at 1,362 feet high. It was a typical morning until the first plane slammed into the North Tower. The impact occurred between the 93rd and 99th floors, causing chaos. A few minutes later, a second plane hit the South Tower between the 77th and 85th floors. Smoke poured from both buildings, and people watching the events unfold were in shock. Within minutes, the South Tower collapsed, followed shortly by the North Tower. The collapse of the buildings caused a massive cloud of toxic dust, and thousands of people ran, desperate to find safety. The only place they could escape to was the sea. At this point, everyone in Manhattan was trapped. The subway, tunnels, bridges were shut down, and there was no way to leave the island. People tried to stay away from the toxic smoke, but with no other options, they gathered at the water's edge, confused and scared. They didn't know where to go or what to do. As the smoke got closer, people looked towards the water, and what they saw was home. The U.S. Coast Guard knew they couldn't help everyone on the run. They needed to think fast, so they made a call for all available boats to assist in evacuating people from the island. Soon boats began arriving at Governor's Island, a nearby location where they were instructed to meet. One of the first to respond was Greg Friedrichs, a man who captained the private boat. Friedrichs recalled that when he first saw the news about the attacks, he thought a small plane had accidentally hit the towers. But when he ran back to his boat and heard the call for help, he immediately set out for Governor's Island. On his boat, Friedrichs and his crew were taught us. The scene at the docks was one of fear and confusion, but the volunteers knew they had to help. Boats of all kinds joined in the effort. Tugboats, ferries, and private vessels. Each boat made multiple trips back and forth, loading as many people as they could and ferrying them to safety. For 9 hours, the volunteers worked non-stop, to save as many lives as possible. Friedrich remembered how he and his crew picked up person after person, taking them across the water to safety. By the end of the boat lift, nearly 500,000 people had been rescued. The heroic events of the volunteers will never be forgotten. They saved countless lives, and the people they helped will forever be grateful. The events of September 11, 2001 were heartbreaking. The terrorist attacks caused untold suffering and loss, but in the midst of that horror, the boat lift showed how ordinary people can rise to the occasion in extraordinary ways. The bravery of the boat captains and volunteers who helped evacuate the city was a shining example of courage and selflessness. Their efforts, along with the sacrifices made by so many others, will always be remembered. The pain of that day will never be forgotten, and neither will the heroes who came together to help in a time of need. The memory of those who were lost and of the brave people who helped others survive will stay with us forever. Thank you. Please welcome Caroline Keller, who is speaking about Lake Martin.
Lake Martin, located in Alabama, is one of the largest man-made lakes in the United States. It was created in the 1920s when the Martin Dams fell on the Tallapoosa River to generate hydroelectric power. Over time, the lake has become a popular destination for boating, fishing, and vacationing. With over 40,000 acres of water and hundreds of miles of land, Lake Martin has played a significant role in Alabama's history and economy. The construction of the lake, its impact on nearby communities, and its transformation into a developed recreation spot are all important parts of its history. Lee Ross Atkins states that Lake Martin was constructed in between 1923 and 1926 by the Alabama Power Company as a 44,000-acre reservoir to generate hydroelectric power. As the dam neared completion, Alabama Power ordered local residents to leave. Homes, churches, and schools were destroyed, even family cemeteries were relocated by body. For many people, this was the most heartbreaking aspect of the lake's creation. In 1926, the dam gates were closed and the water began filling the area. It was until April 23, 1928, that the lake was fully filled. Over the years, erosion has caused the lake to expand even more, especially in the last 20 years. Today, with over 880 miles of shoreline, 750 of it wooded, Lake Martin remains one of the largest man-made lakes in the world. It is also considered one of the cleanest lakes in Alabama and a great place to retire or visit family. Now the lake is home to beautiful waterfront, luxurious homes, and popular tourist attractions. The flooding of Lake Martin had both positive and negative effects on the surrounding communities. The area that is now underwater was once a thriving community with plantations, schools, farms, and businesses. Jack Equals states that when the dam gates were closed, many families were forced to move, leaving behind everything they had built. Some moved to nearby cities like Alexander City, Tallahassee, Eclectic, and Danville in search of new opportunities. Many former farmers had to take jobs in mills and mines to support their families. The land north of the river was harder to farm and had less access to water, making it life difficult for those who tried to continue farming. Despite the hardships, Lake Martin has brought new opportunities. As the lake has become a recreational hotspot, it attracts thousands of visitors yearly. Tourism creates new jobs and businesses such as boat rentals, fishing charters, and lakeside restaurants. The landscape around the lake has changed over time with more businesses and vacation homes popping up each year. When Lake Martin first opened to the public, it quickly became a favorite place for outdoor activities like boating, fishing, swimming, and even golfing. One of the most famous spots on the lake is a small island called Chimney Rock. This rock formation, which resembles a chimney, is a popular site for cliff jumping. People from all over come to take part or watch, and jumping from the heights of over 60 feet. However, despite the deep waters below, there have been a few accidents, including serious injuries and even deaths. Other popular events at Lake Martin include fishing tournaments, 4th of July fireworks, and Alexander City Jazz Festival. While people enjoy these activities, there's a hidden history beneath the surface of the water. One of the most significant losses from the creation of Lake Martin was a small town called Cowlitha, also known as Elijah. This was a small African-American community that thrived after being flooded by the rising waters. Named after a Native American chief, Elijah was home to a strong, self-sufficient community with homes, schools, and businesses. The town was growing rapidly and improving in many ways. However, when the Alabama Power Company built the Martin Dam, the entire town was submerged, forcing its residents to relocate. The flooding of Elijah and other communities landowners in particular were treated unfairly, often forced to sell their land or lose their property altogether. There are few, if any, legal protections for the displaced residents, and they have little to say in the matter. Some families moved to nearby towns while others lost everything. Lake Martin has a rich and complex history. Once a thriving town, Kalijah was transformed into a lake and resort area, attracting thousands of visitors yearly. While today the lake is a fun place for relaxation today. Beneath the water lies the remnants of homes, businesses, and a row of black bones lost. The lake has brought rare opportunities and growth to the area, but has also come at a cost. Understanding its history helps us both appreciate the beauty of Lake Martin and the sacrifices made to create it. Thank you. Please welcome Derek Alexander, who is speaking about the Valley Restoration.
The Valley Restoration in Columbus, Georgia plays a crucial role in helping individuals and families in need by providing shelter, food, and support services. This non-profit organization has provided hope for the homeless, hungry, and struggling members of the community. Through its programs, the mission helps to restore dignity, self-sufficiency, and hope to those facing difficult circumstances. In 1963, a group of compassionate Christians recognized the need to assist the addicted and homeless individuals in the Chattahoochee Valley. With a couple of old buildings hung up for service, they established the Valley Restoration. Over the years, the organization has grown, expanding its programs and outreach efforts. And in 1969, the Men's Addiction Recovery Program was founded, providing structured support for men battling addiction. The opening of the Bargain Center Research Center in 1984 helped generate revenues to sustain mission programs. And in the late 1990s, the River Ministry in New Atmosphere were established, expanding services to homeless women and children. In 2018, the Women and Children's Center was built, offering a safe shelter and resources for vulnerable families. For over 6 decades, the Valley Restoration has been committed to its mission of serving others and those struggling with addiction. Growing into a comprehensive support system for those in need, the services are provided at no cost, supported by generous donors, local partnerships, and volunteers. The impact of the Valley Restoration is evident in the lives that it's changed. One inspiring story is that of Dustin Walter, a graduate of the Addiction Recovery Program. Initially viewing the program as a way to avoid jail, Walter struggled with faith in overcoming addiction. However, after going through the program twice, he found a renewed sense of purpose and faith in God. Now he serves as the Crossroads Corporal Supervisor as the mission, dedicated to giving back to the place of transformed his life. Mike Gaiman, the President and CEO of Valley Restoration, has been a great leader in helping those in need. A retired member of the Greater Columbus Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Gaiman was initially asked to serve as the interim director of the Valley Restoration. After a period of spiritual reflection, he accepted the role as one full-time director. Although he enjoys the job, he acknowledges that it may come with challenges. In February, at the privilege of interviewing Mr. Gaiman Mason, a graduate of the Addiction Recovery Program who is now an employee at Valley Restoration, Mason shared that one of the biggest challenges they face is retaining men in the early stages of the addiction recovery program. Many struggle to stay through the first phase due to the structure and requirements of the program. However, according to Mr. Gaiman, the success rate for the second phase of recovery is an impressive 93% compared to the national average of about 40%. Both Mr. Gaiman and Mason agree that the long-term goal of the Valley Restoration is to continue excelling in the mission of service. According to Mr. Gaiman, the Valley Restoration has had a significant impact on the Columbus community by helping those in need. For 62 years, the organization has worked to address poverty and homelessness. In 2024 alone, the mission has generated thousands of resources and recorded 275 professions of faith. Those interested in supporting Valley Restoration can contribute by donating goods to the facilities here in Columbus, Georgia. Valley Restoration thrives on community support. Individuals can contribute by donating goods, volunteering time, or providing financial support to sustain and grow the essential services. Sadly, 1 in 5 people in Columbus struggle with poverty today. But through collective efforts, we can help change the homelessness epidemic in our community. The Valley Restoration is a pillar of hope for the Chattahoochee Valley, offering critical services to those in need. The lives transformed by this organization Foundation are a testament to its effectiveness and generosity of the community. With continued support, the mission will remain a sanctuary for the homeless, addicted, and struggling individuals in Columbus, Georgia. Thank you. Please welcome Easton Sasser for speaking on Bo Jackson.
On November 30th, 1962, one of the greatest athletes in history was born, Vincent Edward Jackson, also known as Bo Jackson. He became famous for playing both professional baseball and football at an elite level. His success didn't come easily though. He worked tirelessly, showed incredible determination, and overcame many challenges to become a legend. Jackson was born in Bessemer, Alabama. He was one of 10 children born to a single mother, Florence Vaughn Jackson. From a young age, Bo loved sports. He played football, baseball, and track. His natural athleticism was clear, and his hard work paid off. He won 2 state decathlon championships and impressed many coaches with his performance. However, life wasn't always easy for Jackson. As a child, he developed a stutter which affected his confidence. 3 of his siblings also had a stutter. Jackson was made fun of at school for it, and this made him shy. He avoided talking in class and would even refer to himself in the third person to help manage his stutter. Despite these difficulties, he turned his struggles into motivation. Instead of letting the teasing affect him, he channeled his energy into sports. He never let anything stop him from reaching his goals, and his determination led him to great success in the game. Bo Jackson's path to greatness officially began at Auburn University, where he played football and baseball from 1982 to 1985. At Auburn, Jackson's talents really came to light. On the baseball field, California Sports says he hit 17 home runs and drove in 43 RBIs. But it was on the football field where Jackson made his biggest impact. According to All Sports Association, he rushed for 4,303 yards and scored 45 touchdowns during his college career. In his senior year, he won the prestigious Heisman Trophy, which is awarded to the best college football player. He achieved this by rushing for 1,786 yards and 17 touchdowns that season. Jackson's 4 years at Auburn helped set him up for a successful career in professional sports. Bo Jackson's career in professional sports was nothing short of amazing. He played for 4 professional teams, 1 football team, and 3 baseball teams. He played for the NFL's Los Angeles Raiders, the MLB's Kansas City Royals, and the Chicago White Sox. But before Jackson's professional career took off, he dealt with the fear that an NFL team was trying to ruin his chance to play his senior year of baseball. Bo Jackson turned down being drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 1986 because he believed they sabotaged his college baseball eligibility. Before the draft, the Buccaneers flew Jackson on a private plane to visit their team facilities. They told him it was NCAA approved, but it wasn't. As a result, he was ruled ineligible to continue playing baseball at all, which upset him because he loved baseball as much as he loved football. In an interview, he said, "My first love is baseball, and it has always been a dream of mine to be a major league player." Jackson felt the Bucs had tricked him on purpose to force him into choosing football. Angry and distressful, he refused to sign with them and instead chose to play baseball for the Kansas City Royals. Later, when the Raiders drafted him in 1987, he agreed to play football, but only part-time, balancing both sports. Jackson started his professional baseball career in the minor leagues with the Memphis Chicks, where he quickly made a name for himself. After just 53 games, he made his major league debut. He hit a single at his first at-bat, showing right away he was ready for the big leagues. Bo's career in baseball was impressive. He became an All-Star and even won MVP at the All-Star game when he hit a long home run to center field. In addition to his baseball success, Bo made a major impact on football as well. In the 1989 season, he rushed for 698 yards in just 10 games, earning a spot in the 1990 program. According to ESPN, this made Bo the only athlete ever to be an All-Star in both baseball and football. Despite his incredible talent, Bo Jackson's career was cut short due to an injury. In a playoff game against the Cincinnati Bengals, he suffered a serious hip injury when he was tackled. He was diagnosed with vascular necrosis, a condition that causes the cartilage in the hip joint to break down. The injury required surgery, and though Jackson attempted to make a comeback, his career was never the same. After being released by the Kansas City Royals, he briefly played for the Chicago White Sox, but struggled due to his hip injury. This time with the White Sox ended after just one season, marking the end of his incredible sports career. It's impossible not to wonder how much more Bo Jackson could have done if had he not been injured. Even with a shortened career, he managed to achieve feats most athletes could only dream of. Bo Jackson wasn't born an elite athlete, but became one through grit, dedication, and a never-give-up attitude. From overcoming his stutter as a child to becoming a legend in both baseball and football, Bo Jackson's story is inspiring. Even though his career was cut short, his achievements in such a short amount of time are incredible. Bo Jackson proves that with hard work and determination, anything is possible. Thank you. Please welcome Louise Gudger, who is speaking about P.L. Travers.
Have you ever read the book or watched the movie Mary Poppins? If you have, then you know about the extraordinary adventures that Jane and Michael went on with their magical lady and her many odd friends throughout London. Mary Poppins was written by a woman named Pamela Lyndon Travers. P.L. Travers had an extremely interesting life, yet not many people know about her. Her life strongly impacted her writing, as she often wrote about things she wanted most. Mary Poppins was Nanny Travers always wished for, yet she could never truly find the best traits of Mary Poppins in her own life until she wrote them into existence. P.L. Travers, born Helen Lyndon Goff in Queensland, Australia, grew up in a household marked by hardship. Their father, Travers Goff, an alcoholic, but his magical stories about Ireland deeply influenced her imagination. Despite her admiration for him, his worsening addiction led to job loss and he died when she was 7. Left without income, the family sold their home and moved to Iraq, where her devastated mother attempted to take her own life. Travers left caring for her sisters for the betrayed. Seeking stability, they relocated to Sydney to live with Aunt Ellie, a strict and loving figure who ensured they received a good education. Travers respected her greatly and later raised her Poppins with her. In high school, Travers pursued acting and performed Shakespearean plays. She also discovered love with Irish poetry, particularly works by William Yeats and George Russell. While touring with the theater, journals introduced her to writing, which soon became her true passion. Her poetry gained recognition, and with enough income, she moved to London to pursue a literary career. Though initially struggling, Aunt Ellie supported her financially. Using her published work as credentials, she secured a job in a newspaper run by George Russell, who soon became her mentor. Over time, she saved enough to buy a cottage in the English countryside where she focused on writing. During her time in the countryside, she had an unusual idea for a new story. She envisioned men who were kind and strict, but as their magical abilities had denied their existence. With guidance from George Russell, she developed this idea into Mary Poppins. The character was practically perfect from the moment she was married, stern with care and realistic and magical. Readers adored Mary Poppins and the whimsical adventure she took the many children on. The book became an instant success and was beloved worldwide. The popularity of Mary Poppins caught the attention of Walt Disney's daughters. They adored the book, and Walt Disney himself wanted to turn it into a film. He reached out to P.L. Travers, hoping to obtain the rights. At first, she refused, fearing he would turn her book into a silly cartoon with exaggerated music numbers. However, Disney assured her she could approve the final script, so she reluctantly agreed. The film was made, but Travers was deeply disappointed with the final product. She was like the animated sequences and the musical elements, but in the end, she had little control over Disney's creative decisions. Despite rejections, the movie became a classic and known for its chalk-painted scenes and iconic songs of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though P.L. Travers was not entirely happy with the film, her legacy continued to grow. Mary Poppins ran a beloved book and has toured our joy to countless readers and viewers. Her work left a lasting impact on others, teaching important values like kindness, resilience, and imagination. Her stories continue to inspire, showing that magic can be found even in the most unexpected places. Mary Poppins was the name P.L. Travers always longed for in her childhood. Her own life was filled with hardships, but throughout it, she was able to create a world full of wonder and hope. Many people know the story of Mary Poppins, but few know about the one who created her. There's more to the tale than just the Disney movie in the pages of the book. There is the remarkable life of Pamela Lyndon Travers, the woman who made magic come through her works. Thank you. Please welcome Taylor Hollis, who is speaking about GPS.
GPS, or global positioning system, is a tool we use every day, whether it's driving, hiking, or even flying. This technology is used by businesses, governments, and everyday people, helping us find our way all over the world. GPS helps people figure out exactly where they are on Earth. It uses a network of satellites that orbit the planet, sending signals down to Earth. GPS devices on the ground, like the ones on our phones or cars, pick up these signals and figure out the device's exact location. GPS works by using a process called trilateralization. Satellites in space send signals to a GPS device. The device then calculates how far away each satellite is based on how long it took for this signal to arrive. With information from at least 4 satellites, the device can figure out your exact location on Earth. GPS has an interesting history that goes back to the 1970s. The U.S. Department of Defense wanted to create a reliable navigation system for military use. They took inspiration from ideas developed by Navy scientists and decided to use satellites to create this system. In 1978, the first GPS satellite, Navstar-1, was launched to orbit. By 1983, after a tragic incident involving a downing of a Korean airliner, the GPS was made available for citizen use. GPS was developed by the U.S. Department of Defense, but now it's used from everyday people to NASA. It provides accurate positioning, navigation, and time information to those people and organizations all over the world. Today, GPS is an essential part of daily life. It helps people with navigation, tracking, and timing and location identification. For example, it's used for navigation. GPS is widely used in cars, helping drivers find their way to a destination, avoiding traffic, and calculating the fastest route. It's also useful for long trips with family or friends, as well as for people traveling to unfamiliar places. It's also used for tracking purposes. GPS can track locations, making it easy to find out where someone or something is located. For instance, you can track packages, pets, or even family members if you need to. GPS gives precise timing information, helping synchronize clocks and events. This is especially important for things like running a business or for military. Finally, GPS helps us know exactly where we are. Whether we're exploring a new city or hiking the wilderness, GPS can pinpoint our location on the map. These uses show how valuable GPS is, making life easier, safer, and more efficient. While GPS is most commonly associated with everyday navigation, it also plays a critical role in space exploration. NASA uses GPS technology to help guide spacecrafts and astronauts. GPS signals help determine the location of the spacecrafts and monitor the trajectory in space. This is vital for space missions, as it allows for precise navigation in environments where traditional methods won't work. GPS also improves our understanding of space. With the help of GPS, NASA can track satellites, spacecrafts, and even rovers on the planets. This technology is critical for exploring the universe and discovering new information about other planets and galaxies. While GPS is incredibly useful, there are some challenges. For example, weather conditions, such as moisture in the air, can weaken GPS signals. In addition, privacy concerns have been raised about the amount of location data that GPS devices collect. People are worried about their location information is used and who has access to it. Despite these challenges, GPS technology continues to improve. Scientists are working on ways to make GPS signals stronger and more reliable, even in difficult conditions. GPS is amazing technology that changed the way we live. From helping us get to place to place, guiding spacecrafts on missions to other planets. GPS is a tool that impacts everyone. As technology advances, GPS will only get better, and its uses will continue to expand. Whether we are using it to navigate city streets or exploring the far reaches of space, GPS is a powerful tool that will shape the future in exciting ways. Thank you. Please welcome John Randall to speak about the prosecutions.
Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought that you aren't fit enough? Most people have, even if they won't admit it. Many argue about who the fittest people on the planet are, often named famous athletes like Tyreek Hill or Cristiano Ronaldo. However, some of the most physically fit individuals are CrossFit athletes. CrossFit Games showcase these athletes and reward those who win their divisions. The purpose of the CrossFit Games is to discover the fittest men and women on the planet. Several workers from the CrossFit Games agreed that the competition helps determine who the fittest people alive are. Justin Berg, the general manager of the sport, put it this way: the CrossFit Games are the greatest stage of fitness where we find the best, well-rounded athletes on the planet. CrossFit has been around for decades and originally started in California. The sport itself began in the 1970s, but the first official CrossFit gym was founded in 2001 in Santa Cruz, California. Since then, CrossFit has grown in size and popularity, gaining multiple partnerships with big-name companies like Yeti, the U.S. Army, and Rogue. But how does an athlete even get into the games? Getting to the CrossFit Games is no easy task. There are multiple stages that an athlete must go through to qualify. There are 3 main ways to be accepted to the games: winning a national championship in the CrossFit World, ranking in the top 20 men and women worldwide in the Open, or winning a sanctions event. Currently, athletes from 120 countries have competed in the games. The only other requirement besides qualifying through one of these methods is that athletes must be at least 14 years old. One unique thing about the CrossFit Games is that they change every year, meaning competitors have no idea what to expect. One day, they might have to complete endurance-based workouts like swimming, cycling, rowing, or running. The next day, they could face heavy lifting challenges. This unpredictability ensures that only the most well-rounded athletes can succeed. The history of the CrossFit Games is brief but fascinating. Although CrossFit as a training method started in the 1970s, the official CrossFit Games began in 2007. Greg Glassman, a former gymnast, created CrossFit by combining different types of workouts to improve his own performance. When the first CrossFit gym opened in 2001, the sport quickly gained popularity. According to the website DTC CrossFit today, CrossFit gyms rank among the top 10 most widespread business locations, alongside major companies like Burger King, Subway, and Pizza Hut. However, CrossFit isn't just about business, it's about community. When many sports involve teams, CrossFit is more than a team, it's a tribe. CrossFit wouldn't be what it is today without Greg Glassman and his ex-wife Lauren Jenner. Together, they developed a sport that blends gymnastic-style movements with the strength training of weight. In the early years of the CrossFit Games, anyone could compete, and the event felt more like a casual gathering than a scarce competition. However, there was still a $500 prize for the winner. The first games took place on a ranch in Santa Cruz, California, where most competitors participated outdoors. According to the author, Alex Polish, only the top 20 athletes got to compete indoors. First ever winners were James Fitzgerald for the men and Joey Gentry for the women. Today, winning the games comes with a massive reward, nearly $3.3 million in prize money. But winning the games has significant benefits. The challenges are just as extreme. The workouts are already intense, but the games became even more serious after a tragic event. According to the author, Brian Slim, Serbian athlete Lazar Dukic drowned during an open swimming event, leading to extra safety precautions for future competitions. Bystanders tried to rescue him, but they could not locate him in time. The games were postponed for 2 days following his death. One of the most famous workouts of CrossFit is called the Murphy. It is named after Navy Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who was killed in Afghanistan. The schooling workout consists of a 1-mile run, followed by 100 pulls, 200 push-ups, and 300 air squats, and ends with another 1-mile run. The entire workout must be completed in under an hour. Another difficult exercise in CrossFit is the pegboard, which requires athletes to move small sticks into holes while climbing the wall. This workout tests both strength and endurance. Another tough challenge introduced in the early years of the games was the rope hammer strap. In this workout, competitors rode 500 meters before using a sledgehammer to drive a 4-foot stake into the ground. They must keep hammering until only 6 inches of the stake remains, then row another 500 meters to complete the event. Many people might think this sounds easy, but they often underestimate how heavy the sledgehammer is and how exhausted the athletes are below. CrossFit Games push athletes to the limits and are designed to find the fittest person on the planet. CrossFit is not only an intense sport, but also a great way to make friends and get into the best shape possible. So next time someone debates who the fittest athlete in the world is, consider the competitors of the CrossFit Games. Their endurance, strength, and versatility make them some of the toughest athletes on earth. Thank you. Please welcome Ruby Williams, who is speaking on the Aspen Marathon.
The Boston Marathon is one of the oldest and most prestigious marathons in the world. It Its history dates back to 1897 when it was inspired by the first modern Olympic marathon in 1896. The race is famous for its challenging course, including the legendary Heartbreak Hill, and for welcoming both professional and amateur runners. Beyond the competition, the Boston Marathon is a cultural event that unites the city. Thousands of spectators line the streets to cheer on runners. Even in times of tragedy, the marathon has remained an important part of the running world, inspiring runners across the globe. The Boston Marathon was the first marathon in the United States, making its history significant for long-distance runners. It was first held in 1897, a time when long-distance running was gaining popularity due to the Olympics. John Graham, the Olympic manager for Team USA, was inspired by the Olympic marathon and worked with Boston's businessman Herbert Holman to create a marathon in the city. The original race was 24.4 miles long, but in 1924 it was changed to 26.2 miles to match Olympic standards. Originally, the marathon was held on April 19th, Patriots Day. But when the holiday was moved to the third Monday of April, so was the race. The Boston Marathon's long history has had a lasting impact on long-distance running and remains a meaningful event for runners worldwide. As the first of 6 world marathon majors, the Boston Marathon has greatly influenced long-distance running. When it was first created, marathons were not very popular outside of the Olympics. However, the success of the Boston Marathon inspired other cities to create their own races. The race also benefits the city of Boston financially, generating nearly $500 million each year. With 500,000 spectators and 30,000 runners coming to the city, businesses such as restaurants and hotels thrive during marathon weekend. Technology has also played a role in marathon's evolution. GIS technology now provides a live tracking of runners, weather modeling, and traffic monitoring. Medical tracking is also improved, ensuring the safety of all participants. These advances were largely implemented after the tragic Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. The race's prestige continues to grow, as it is now part of the adult World Marathon Majors alongside the London, Berlin, Tokyo, New York, and Chicago marathons. The Boston Marathon is more than just a race. It is a tradition for the entire city. One of the most famous traditions is the Wellesley College Green Tunnel, where students cheer loudly as runners pass through. Another major tradition is Heartbreak Hill, which is considered the toughest part of the race. This steep, half-mile hill comes over 20 miles of running, making it a physically and mentally challenging obstacle for runners. The marathon has inspired people worldwide by promoting perseverance and unity. The city looks forward to the event every year, and for many runners, it is the race of a lifetime. However, the marathon's history includes moments of tragedy that have shaped its legacy. On April 15, 2013, tragedy struck the Boston Marathon. That year, 26,000 runners participated, and even more spectators on the streets. 2 terrorists placed bombs in a crowd near the finish line, about 600 feet apart. The first bomb detonated about 5 hours into the race, followed by the second explosion 10 seconds later. Chaos erupted as paramedics rushed to help the injured. Hundreds of people were wounded, and 3 lives were lost. What had started as a day of celebration quickly turned into a scene of fear and destruction. Authorities immediately began searching for suspects. The city was put on lockdown while investigation took place. Security footage revealed 2 men carrying large backpacks, which helped the police identify the bombers. One suspect, Tamerlan Tsarnaev, was severely injured in a confrontation with the police and later died from his injuries. The other suspect, Jafar Tsarnaev, was eventually found hiding in a boat. He was later convicted and sentenced to death. Despite the tragedy, the Boston Marathon has remained strong. The phrase "Boston Strong" became a symbol of resilience and unity, and the race continued in the following years with even greater significance. For 128 years, the Boston Marathon has remained one of the most important races in the world. Its history, traditions, and impact on the sport of running make it a special event. The race unites the city of Boston, bringing together spectators, runners, and volunteers in a celebration of athletic achievement and community spirit. Despite tragedies like the 2013 bombing, the marathon has endured and become even more meaningful. It continues to inspire runners across the globe, proving that perseverance and unity can overcome any obstacle. The Boston Marathon is more than just a race. It is a tradition for the entire city, creating lasting memories for those who take part. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. This was our first group, and I think they knocked it out of the park. Can you give them another round of applause? Yes, you're welcome to come get a picture, a hug before you go. Middle schoolers, it's time to go back to class. Thank you for being here, though.
Thank you.